Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make kettle corn because I've gotten a lot of questions on how. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a big container, some oven mitts, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, a 1/2 cup of plain kernels, and 1/4 cup of sugar. You're also going to need a big pot and a lid. Alright, so first, turn it up on high. And I'm going to pour my oil in, and I'm going to let that heat up. So it's been heating for a few minutes, and you can do a thing called a kernel test, where you take a kernel and you drop it in and you wait till it pops. And as soon as it pops, and I actually have the fire on high, but you're supposed to do it over medium. This is just for it to heat up faster. But it's sizzling, and as soon as it pops, we'll know it's hot enough. But what you're going to do is, as soon as it's hot, you have to make sure that you put the kernels and the sugar in at the same time. Some people want to put the sugar in ahead of time, and in which case it's going to get into like little chunks, and it's not going to actually melt, so it's just going to burn. But you'll see that in a little bit. And I know this is like watching paint dry, but it should be heating up here pretty soon. Oh, Jesus, okay, so it's definitely hot. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put in your kernels, turn down your flame, put in your sugar, mix it well, and that's the recipe on the lid. And just make sure that all the sugar is coated. And this one's actually turning out a lot better than the first one. Then you're going to pop a lid on it. And I'm going to set this up here on the tripod. Make sure you put your oven mitts on because it gets really hot. And I like to actually turn up the heat to high because I'm going to be lifting it. So, you know, it should still pop well. And actually the sugar's starting to get a little chunky now. You might want to break up those chunks because they turn into like little candies almost. Okay, so I just had the first one pop. So I'm going to cover that, and I'm going to wait till it pops a little bit more. Oh, there they go. And then you just shake it. You'll start to hear me in a bit. Oh, there they go. And feel free to check on them, just make sure that you don't lift the lid too much, because they will fly out at you. And this takes about 5 minutes or so. I'll check back in a second. And when I shake it, you can kind of hear the kernels at the bottom. And that's kind of how you can judge and see how many kernels you have left. I did turn the fire down to medium. And once you get about 2 to 3 seconds in between pops, they're kind of done. Almost. I got 1, 2. Okay, so we're done. And I will show you a beautiful popcorn. Oh, hold on, there's still some popping. There we go. perfect kettle corn. So it is a little bit, it does need to dry a little bit, but it cooks pretty evenly. And as you can see in here, it's still popping. So try not to freak out like I did. And then I like to salt it twice because it's kind of too sweet. I mean, it is a half a cup of sugar, so it's pretty sweet, but oh, it's still going. Once I get about half in the bowl, and I salt it, and then I finish up with the other half. And some of the kernels, actually, I'll take this one out to show you. Ow! Some of the kernels can get a lot of sugar built up in them. It's only happened like twice, and it's usually on the ones that are at the bottom, but they'll get really sugary. But like I said, sometimes the sugar gets a little hard, and it's almost like a rock candy. And it looks like I still have some kernels at the bottom, so I'm just going to repop those. And then give it one more salting. And there you go. It's homemade kettle corn.